What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, you guys have a great day so far. In today's video, we're doing a account overview, account review for PokeDad fishes here. We'll just call him PokeDad. We're going to try to help him out, give him some tips about his account, give him some progression advice, and just generally make life a little bit more enjoyable in this raid game for him. Now, if you guys are interested in this kind of takeover or review service, make sure you guys hit up my Discord. We do have a separate channel for a once a month free takeover when time is permitting. Of course, if you're looking for immediate service, let me know in the DMs and we can work something out. I do offer paid service as well. With that all being said, let's jump into PokeDad's account here. So he's level 72. This account is about 6 months old. He started at about the beginning of this year. He has the 2026 badge. Now, I know he is a bit of a spender. My guess is somewhere around the 10,000 mark. Now, you won't give me the exact number, but that is my guess. You guys can let me know in the comments below if I'm right or wrong, or if I'm in the wrong ballpark even. But that's going to be my guess. Low end, probably 5. High end, 10 plus, I would say. But let's check out his general account here. So level 72, 6 months. It's pretty, pretty low progress for a 6-month account, in my opinion. Not bad, not great. He says he plays every day, which is great. Gotta love those really passionate raid players, of course. Let's check out what he's packing here. In terms of shards, 5,500 mystery shards. You can handle any summon rush event for a fusion. Currently no shards in his stash, so all of them are gone. Fragment collected, 35 fragments for Mithrala. You got 19 on Empress, 20 on Quintus, and not much for anything else, really. 14 on Lamasu, 60 on Folin, so it looks like he's going for the Folin fusion. Good for him. 0 on Anaxia. This is troubling, perhaps. Not sure how deep he is in Grim Forest. We'll take a look at that afterwards. Overall resources here, I mean, we're looking at 4.3 million silver. It's just, this is like critical danger zone. Always something you gotta look out for. He does have a couple thousand gems, but him being a spender, a couple thousand gems is not out of the ordinary. But the silver, definitely, we'll look for places where he can dig out some more silver. Great haul. 6 months. This is a bit of a yikes, I think. We're at 40 battles 2 days into the week, so he's averaging about 20 battles a day. So he's working at about 50% efficiency. You definitely want to increase these battles so that you can get more of these great haul development much quicker. I'm totally okay with going accuracy first. Going attack. Attack is probably the last stat that I would generally go for. If you want to boost up your damage dealers, you definitely want to go for crit damage instead of just attack or a stat, because one of these stats only works for 1/3 of the damage dealers. So you got HP damage dealers, attack damage dealers, and defense damage dealers. So if you're just stacking attack, it really just benefits attack-based damage dealers. Now, if you put stats into HP or defense, at least that increases their survivability. And if you have an HP or defense damage dealer, you're going to increase their damage as well. Attack is generally the most one-dimensional stat, and it's not something I would recommend going for. So if you want more damage, go down to crit damage, and that's just going to be universally more beneficial. So definitely work on your Great Haul. Make sure you use your bonuses during CVC so you can get some extra points there. I see you're in Gold 3. I'm not sure what your account looks like, but if you spend significant money in this account, Gold 3 is definitely where you not want to be. You would definitely want to be higher than that. Let's check out the forge here. 5,600 Magi Steel. That's relatively healthy, but I think you probably don't come into here too often. 100. You got 14 only for the perception gear. Nothing. Very low. I would imagine very low progress in general. Oh, here we go, baby. Look at this. This is all the gear you need, guys. Love to see it. When you got a spender on an account that probably lacks gear, I'm going to say he probably lacks gear. When you see 100 instinct crafts here, this is a godsend, because this gear set is very, very flexible. You can make a lot of damage dealer gear sets with this, and it's generally going to be the best pieces of gear that he has on his account, because I'm not imagining him, farming super efficiently all the dungeons right now. So having these purchased forge passes for a set like Instinct, like a set like Bolster, this is massive as well, goes a long way. Bolster can be great for PvE content, can be great for arena content, especially early on. And like I said, Instinct is great for any kind of damage dealer. And with 100 pieces here, definitely looks okay. He does have some charms to use, not a lot of charms, unfortunately. Ideally, you get, max charms for every single piece, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. What else does he have here? Slayer's all used up, no righteous, bolster and instinct. I like it. Bolster and instinct, no lethal gear available, so he probably didn't make it too far up in Dark Fae last month. Let's see how important those gear sets are going to be once we check out the roster. Quick look at the tavern here, a couple hundred brews, good to see. Books, non-existent for mythical books. 8 legendary books is okay. You can book out maybe 1 legendary, can help you out there. In terms of what do we got here? Ascensions. Do we have enough potions for a fusion? We definitely don't have much potions at all. Not enough to complete a fusion if it came down to it, I think. Let's see what else. Any chickens here? No chickens, so he's going to need some food to upgrade his champions. Check out his Altar of Souls here. As a spender, definitely would expect him to have quite a big soul collection. I mean, he definitely has a bigger collection than, most, I would say most 6-month accounts. But not too crazy. I mean, we see a lot of mythicals here already. So he's definitely spent some good money here in the Soulstone altar. Let's see what else he's packing here. Let's just dive right into his roster. Let's dive right into it. All right, so we're seeing some mythicals already. Let's sort out his champions here real quick. So what do we got? We got Lazarius. This build is pretty horrendous, I would say. No damage, so it has no damage. And if this is his fastest champion on his account, I am scared. So that would explain why he doesn't do so much regular classic arena. Just want to double check if he actually do any live arena. No, basically no live arena. Live arena can definitely help. If he can stomach some live arena, you can add some stats to some of these key areas and make life a little bit easier. But if he's not enjoying regular arena, then he's definitely not going to enjoy live arena. So let's have a quick look at his champion pool here and some of his builds. If Lazarius is basically his fastest champion, this is going to be a really sad stat. I'm going to just double check what is his fastest champion or what his account is capable of. All right, so I just ran his account through the RSL extender, and this is kind of like an optimizer. I just ran it for straight speed on his Lazarius, and his fastest is 336. So I'm not sure what he's going for exactly on this Lazarius build, but if it's going for pure speed, he's missing about 80 speed on this. I know he's packing a couple of immortal sets here, but this guy's not doing any damage. He has no accuracy to do any of his debuffs anyways, which is a bit of a shame. So definitely needs a little bit of direction on this Lazarius. Always running accuracy, so he's some kind of support build, but he doesn't have enough accuracy for this. Yeah, this build needs some serious help. He's also not booked, which is a big bummer. Wand of Submission, no levels in that. I mean, Wand is a great relic, but no levels. It's not going to be too helpful here. Let's see what else he's packing here. Alaz, no gear, probably moved around a little bit. +9 Wand. He does have partial books. Kind of sucks to see partially booked. Is his secondary form book? Definitely not. And he's running Heaven Cast Masteries with War Master. Probably a damage build or damage build set up for him. Yes, he does have a damage build. It is a savage set, so he does have a savage set cooking in his account. But yeah, 100 crit damage here. This build is not going to be beating up too many enemies. Now, this is a good example of where that instinct, 100 pieces of instinct gear can definitely come into play, because now you have gear to gear out some of these damage dealers properly. Definitely something to look into. I do see a Siegfried here. Amazing. Siegfried, 1-star only. He is in a savage build. Decent speed. Decent crit damage. Unfortunately, not crit capped. Speed is okay-ish for early game account. 4K attack. I mean, it's okay. Does he have masteries on here? He does. War Master, probably not the right masteries for a champion like Siegfried. He is fully booked. So that's a big thing here. Now, Siegfried is definitely a champion that I would look into fully investing for this account, because first of all, he's fully booked. So you can get the full value from him, and he can be very good for PvE content, PvP content. I mean, Lazarius and Alaz can be great for both areas as well. The biggest issue is the non-books. No books in both of these champions. Makes them a little bit worse. Obviously, you can still use mythicals without books, but I'm really liking the Siegfried so far because he is fully booked out. I do see a Crixia here. My goodness, four really nice legend mythical champions right away. Now for Crixia, I do see high accuracy here, which is exactly what you want. However, I don't see the speed being up to par. Now, I do see Lazarius being 250 speed and Night Queen Crixia is coming in under 200 speed. This is an issue for this champion. I like the Water Submissions on everybody. Water Submission is just kind of a catch-all relic. It's great. Books looks totally fine in the main form. Totally no problems with the books there. So definitely a champion you want to focus on. You got the Eagle Eye here. That's great. You probably want to get rid of, Eagle Eye. You probably want to get rid of Eagle Eye because you don't want to trigger something like Marius, trigger his counterattacks. And generally, like Cycle of Magic is a pretty good mastery set. Not a bad, not a bad build, but you probably want another 100 speed on here, especially for this account when your top speed is at 330, I think. You kind of want to organize your gear out a little bit. So right away, we got four really strong mythicals, and now we do have Mikage sitting here. Also, 236 speed, pretty low accuracy, but it probably works. 100% crit rate. Not sure if that's intentional. Aspect of Suroth. I mean, you could take the wand here just for some extra speed and accuracy. Books in here. She's fine. She's great. Great champ for PvE, and it probably still works for Arena also. So it's fine, but definitely can be improved. Toshiro here in the Savage gear set. It's a fine build. 180 speed with some crit damage, a little bit of accuracy, which can handle probably up to Nightmare Hydra all the way up there. Probably low end or low mid end Chimera. This accuracy is not going to be able to handle too much higher. You got the Golden Elixir, Elixir Healing, fully booked out. Cool. It works. This one, for some reason, has Helm Smasher, which is the correct mastery, which I would take for Siegfried instead of War Master. But Toshiro looks perfectly fine. And then we have Mavara here. Mavara, super slow. For some reason, he has a 5-star Brimstone. Brimstone on 5-star still requires accuracy. Okay, so unless you have enough accuracy to properly land the Brimstone all the time, you're not going to get the Brimstone land. 220 probably works for dungeons up to level 20-ish, low 20-ish. But if you're playing her in arena, it's not going to work out super well. Overall, she can be definitely faster. You definitely want her to be as fast as possible. If you have Stone Skin, give her 1-turn Stone Skin is better, but it looks like you're just focusing on stats. This is a really, really good relic for her, so good job identifying that. Fully booked, looks good, and Masteries looks pretty good for a Reviver, I would think. I like it. I think it's fine. I would probably go down to Laura Steele for some extra stats usually. But yeah, she looks fine. Other than the choice of Blessing, what else do we got? We have Ezio. He also looks okay. He looks okay. I mean, for this account, he definitely can be improved. All of this can be improved, right? Bayek, he's okay-ish. I mean, he's not going to do any damage, but you just use him for its effect. Cardio's fast. I mean, you just swap this gear onto your Lazarus, and it's already a better build, right? So you definitely need to rebuild some of these champs. Let's see what else you got. Harima here is missing gear. Anybody else? I'm just kind of looking at some of these champions that are built. We got Newt here. Unfortunately, no accuracy. This is a big miss. Newt definitely needs accuracy if you want to use him for Hard Fire Knight. Just an example. If you're not going to use him for Hard Fire Knight, then you don't need the accuracy on him. And I do see Rhea here, Rhea the Morn. Very nice champ. Very stat-heavy champion, and hard to make the passive work with a limited roster. So it might not be the main focus for this account at this point. Truthfully, okay, now that we have a rough overview of his general roster, let's look at what we can do here, right? So, as I, kind of assumed, he does have Sursa, and I don't know how much it costs to get Sursa, guys, but you guys can let me know in the comments below. But I'm thinking Sursa costs at least $8,000 of spending in Player and Play, just so you guys have, a more accurate estimate, I think. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have a more accurate number on that. Now, we do see Edward here. We do see Ezio. And like I said, he probably started to account somewhere around the start of 2026. I love that he invested in some pretty good champs. So for the most part, I like his general knowledge, I think, is probably fine. It looks like he knows, obviously crit cap your champions, accuracy where it needs accuracy. Like for example, Crixia has accuracy to do her stuff, which is great. But some of these builds need a little bit of focus. So for him, at least right now, I know you probably don't have much gear. I definitely start rolling up that bolster gear, that instant gear. That's going to help you a lot. You can definitely gear out a bunch of these champions in those pieces of gear to make them a lot more viable. So basically, things like your Mavara, in a strong bolster set, a fast bolster set would be really, really helpful. Obviously, put your high accuracy, high speed gear on your Night Queen. And then for Lazarius, for Siegfried, you might want to put your best attack-based damage dealing sets, and they would be your main damage dealers in the arena. So for the arena, I would probably just run Lazarius with Siegfried, with Mavara, and then probably just Crixia, and then just run those four. I think they would be absolutely amazing for you as a arena team. Obviously, Crixia needs to be basically your best champion in a lot of ways because she needs to be the fastest. She needs to have the highest accuracy. I would aim somewhere around 300 speed, 500 accuracy. Get a nice big bolster set on your Mavara and then 2 instinct damage sets on your Siegfried and Lazarius. And I think you're pretty much good to go. You could even squeeze Bayek in there if you're running into the issues where your team is struggling for survivability. I don't think that's going to be the case, especially with Mavara there, especially with her heals and a bolster set. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're just going to lack damage. So therefore you have 2 damage dealers, which will really help you out. In any case, let's check out everything else you have in this account. Maybe you have some more stuff in terms of epics. I do see Godseeker near, and she looks like she is in a Sand Devil build. So good job. That's really good. Hopefully it works out. 209 speed. That should work for you, and these stats should work pretty well. If you have Golden Elixir, that makes it a little bit easier. Not sure if you're struggling in that Sand Devil stage, but if you have Golden Elixir, that helps you out big time. Let's see here. We have a really slow Demitha, so that's probably not part of your clan boss team. And we have a Man-Eater, not geared out. Thor in Savage, not geared out fully. All right, so he's 2-keying Ultra Nightmare with this team here. It looks fine enough. Toshiro Mikage pair is very, very nice. You got Brimstone. Yep, you got Brimstone here. That's probably why you have the Mavara with Brimstone. I'm curious if you could 1-key. Maybe you might have a 1-key team somewhere. This is pretty close, I think. But a 1-key team at this point is probably a big luxury for this account. Let's check out what his general progress is. Let's see. He's doing Minotaur, 20 seconds. That's great. Dragon Heart 10 in 4 minutes. We got Ice Golem, stage 1. Ice Golem's going to be pretty tough. I know Pelops can kind of take care of Ice Golem by himself. That might be something to look into if you have Pelops built out. I know you don't have much chickens to do anything with in books. Spider, what are you running here for Spider? You got Newt, Poisons, Wave Clear. Yeah, maybe a little bit interesting. I mean, maybe Theodore comes in here at some point. I'm not too sure. But you have to play around with these spider teams a little bit. You could play around with like poison explosion. You can play around with hex damage. But thank goodness you at least have the Newt to help you out with some different builds. Fire Knight hard, great. You're on stage 6. Not the best clear, but definitely the Newt helping out here. Ally attack. Why not bring in Mikage for an extra ally attack also? At some point, you just need good gear. You just need to have your guys geared out in like the fastest gear possible to handle the Fire Knight. This team should be able to handle it. Just comes down to gear, right? But at least good. You have the Newt that's going to help you out big time for the this dungeon. Sand Devil, you're on 25. It's a 3.5 minute clear with the Godseeker near and Newt. I'm not sure if definitely this can be improved. Not sure what the issue is. Let's check out the Godseeker here in terms of the, okay, so you're running Spirit Haste with 209 speed. So you're definitely running too fast. I'm not sure if you're failing with this build, but in terms of having the Spirit Haste and obviously running food and stuff, you're running a little bit too fast. Which will lead to some eventual fails once in a while. But it's good. At least you can handle 25. If you ever need to rebuild them, definitely check out one of the videos on my channel. Go in depth. You got level 25 Shogun here, 3 minutes almost. And block damage. This looks like a pretty slowish team. I like Bayek in here because it kind of shuts down the boss a little bit. That's if your guys have accuracy. I don't see any of these guys having a lot of accuracy. Actually, most of your damage dealers don't have accuracy. If you're going to put Harima here, you might as well put Mikage here for some extra damage. Also, another champion that you might actually look into would be somebody like Masahiro. Masahiro covers a lot, especially for progressing accounts. He is a team reviver, something that you don't really have. You have Noldula and you have Mavara, but Mavara is a single target revive. So Masahiro is a really, really strong support champion. Might be worth looking into. Now let's check out your other areas here, other bosses, because you really want to start making some progress here in Hydra. Hydra is going to give you the Stone Skin gear, which progresses your PvP teams quite a bit. And then it's going to give you protection gear, which is going to give you a lot more damage, a lot more ability to, make stronger teams through PvE content. So you definitely need to focus a little bit on Hydra a little bit. I see 40 million here on hard mode. That's way overkill, so that's great. You could probably take this team into brutal and maybe be able to get the top chest. Maybe, it might be close. At this point, you're probably looking to maybe advance clans, to be honest. You're doing, 40 million on hard difficulty, and then you're probably not using your two other keys because your two other keys are still here with 4 hours left in the day. But you really want to test your account to see how high it can go. And I think this team can probably take on Brutal with some minor adjustments, can probably take on Brutal. So you're looking at 3 top chests, right? You're looking at Brutal, Hard, and Normal. And that's going to give you fragments towards Mithrala. It's going to give you lots of Stone Skin gear, protection gear, and help build your account up with those pieces. Chimera, I'm not really expecting you to have anything for Chimera. It's not, it really shouldn't be like a huge area of focus for your account. But if you're, focusing here, it's going to be Mikage, Toshiro, definitely. Let's see if you put in anything today. Got easy mode. Nope, no keys yet. No keys spent. So I assume it's going to be Toshiro Ninja. Yeah, Toshiro Ninja here. But at this point, just kind of do whatever you can. In Chimera, not a huge focus. For you, I think the biggest focus would actually be to fix up some of your builds. Do your, regular grind of your regular Classic Hall Arena. Make sure you get to Gold 5. Let's see what you're running here in terms of overall team. So like I said, I would probably get rid of Alaz and then just run Mavara, change up the speed order. Now you got 20, you got the 28 instead of the 25. And the way it's going to go is Quixia opens first, and after that you protect your team, and then these two come in with the big cojones. Something fun you could actually explore is maybe look into building Rhea out. She's not, she's hard to use in the fact that her passive requires this to really make her shine, because you really want the irresistible stuff to happen. Like the stealing stuff, it's just absolutely busted with this triple hit AoE. But for that to happen, she needs accuracy, or you need these perfect buffs on her. It's a little bit unlikely, but with Mavara, at least she covers the veil. She brings her own increased attack, so you just need to find block debuffs somewhere, maybe on your team perhaps. But she's going to take up some of your attack-based damage gear also. Another option would be maybe like to build Lazarius really fast and then skip the damage on him and then leave the damage gear for Rhea. And then just give her a bit of accuracy so she can kind of do something. So that'd be kind of a cool team also, something like this. You have like a bit of insurance here, a bit of a finisher. You got the lockout, and then you got the strip ability with the mercurial stuff. And then you have extra protection, extra insurance on this. I kind of like this team. It's a nice balanced team. Good thing is all these champions are pretty much fully booked. So you got them at full power already. You just have to gear them out properly. Let's check out General Doom Tower stuff. Yeah, so if you're playing every day, you should be tackling all of the free stuff every day. Use up all your keys. So the Doom Tower keys, you should be using up all your Faction Wars keys, like as high as you can go. It doesn't matter how high you can get, do it as high as you can go. Looks like you're working your way towards your Lydia. That's not bad. It's not a bad kind of goal to work towards, is to work towards Lydia. And obviously, you want to try to stretch as high as you can go on every single stage. How's your Arbiter missions going? Not very good. Again, Arbiter missions are kind of a good kind of guideline generally. It's not like Arbiter is going to help really save your account at this point. You're kind of beyond the point of Arbiter. She's going to help with your high elves in Faction Wars. But definitely work on these if you have nothing else to work on. Actually, I just want to take a quick look at your gear stash here. 1,200 pieces of gear. Let's see how many of these pieces of gear are actually rolled up. Let's see. Let's see how many pieces of gear are not rolled up. Oh my God. Did that number even change? Oh my God. Look at this, guys. He has 1,263 total pieces in his account. Of those pieces, I would about over 90% of them are not rolled. Yikes. And he can't actually roll them because he only has 4 million silver to his name. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's crazy. Okay, so you need a massive gear cleanse. Like this account needs some maintenance. It needs some of these pieces cleansed off. It needs the best gear rolled up so that you can make the best builds possible. Right. So that's what you should be aiming for. There's a lot of maintenance work that needs to go into having these accounts run really well, or at least as well as it can possibly run. So, you gotta have to get on this. He's not going to help themselves. And the fact that you have 1,200 pieces in your account after, I would say, probably 6 months of playing this game, and over 90% of them are not rolled up. This probably means that you haven't been really farming a lot. I have a feeling that you haven't been really farming a lot in this game. Like, here's some savage pieces. I know not a lot of them are going to be very good. There's mostly 5-star pieces. But hey, you got some helmets here. You got some, 6-star pieces. Maybe they're actually worth something. If they're not worth anything, then kind of just get rid of them. I mean, this weapon's fine. It's a 5-star, but yeah, you can definitely go with a full gear cleanse, work up that 4 million silver quite a bit. What else you got here? Yeah, I see a lot of, rare pieces. I see some instinct pieces here. So you were working a little bit on this, but since you probably have no silver to roll this up, so it's not going to be too helpful for you. Like, you got some pieces here, very decent, like 6-star perfect attack stats. This should be rolled up and be put into a build immediately. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely some work to be done. Bolster gear here, very nice. I mean, you can just roll those up. I'm not sure if you have any ores or anything like that. Yeah, you have a couple ores, not a lot. And then you have Mercurial gear. Are you working on Grim Forest? This is something that you must do. Mercurial, like Grim Forest is a must do, no matter what. Yeah, you haven't been doing your Grim Forest. This is a must do. You already missed a couple days on this. If you've been playing every day, all day, every day, you definitely need to be working on this every day. Go as far as you can go every month. This is the most important gear you can have for Arena. So if you're struggling in Arena, come here. This is all free gear. You don't have to pay for it. You just grind away. Make the best teams possible. Gear your champions to the best of your ability, and then just let it go. You also get a bunch of free resources also, which is really helpful. What about Curse City? Any progress here? Looks like you've been working a little bit here at least. Again, same thing. You want to work as far as you can in every day. You want to work as far as you can every day. Work towards getting Amius. Works towards getting those Remnant summons. I know you're a spender, so it doesn't matter as much to you whether you get the remnants or, whatever primals or quartz or anything like that. But hey, having a free remnant summon is better than paying for, a couple primal shards, right? Am I right? Let's take a look at the accessories. I forgot to check that. Only 504 accessories. So again, definitely very limited amounts of farming in any of the dungeons right now. And let's see how many of these accessories are actually rolled up. Yeah. So 504 total accessories in, here. And of those, 464 are 0 to 4, 0 to level 4. So yeah, you just need to spend some time sifting through some of this stuff. You have to level up some of this stuff. I mean, again, it doesn't look like you have a lot of the special accessories yet. So I don't expect you to have a huge amount of accessories. But that's a problem also, right? Because you need to farm up some of these nicer accessories so you get more stats. For example, if you want to jump into the event dungeon right now, you have the opportunity to get, for example, pinpoint gear, right? Pinpoint gear, you can, add, a ring, an amulet, get some additional speed, and that's going to help you out. I can tell based on like our recent gear optimizer, total for Lazarius that your top speed is about 330. Now, usually when I do these type of takeovers and I check their top speed from their gear that's actually, in their stash, 300 to 330, I would say is probably kind of early game. So if you've been playing the game for about 6 months, you definitely need to be past this early game stage, I would imagine. So I think there's definitely needing to be some focus, at least in the gear front, moving forward. So things like getting your Hydra gear, getting your Hydra accessories, farming some pinpoint, leveling up some of your Pharaoh gear, whatever that is, just leveling up some of this stuff, any kind of 6-star banners. Like we're talking like, let's see how many 6-star banners you got sitting around here. So 6-star banners. You got 72 6-star banners. How many of them have speed on them? Let's see. How many of them actually have speed on them? Substat speed. 34. Half of them. That's not bad. Half of your 6-star banners have speed on them. They need to be rolled up so you can get the best possible speed banners on your champions, right? Like you got a nice speed banner here on Lazarius. You got 24 quad speed on a 5-star. That's really good. What about here on Alas? Like, yeah, okay. Accuracy, okay. What about this one on Siegfried? You got an HP banner. I guess you're going for speed. So you kind of have to put in a little bit of work here. If you don't have great banners, I mean, you have a 6-star legendary banner right here, which is an upgrade over your 5-star, but you haven't had a chance to roll this guy up. So, obviously I know why, because you don't have any silver. So that's going to be the first hurdle. First, probably cleanse off all your gear. Second, probably craft all your gear with the silver you just made. Okay. Craft all the gear with the silver you just made. Then cleanse off your gear again. Then you should roll up all the gear pieces that you probably just made. And then you can probably make some proper builds, at which point you can reevaluate what level of difficulty you should be farming in the dungeon stages, right? But the best gear in this game is farmable without having to spend any energy. So for example, Hydra, for example, Grim Forest, for example, Siege. Sorry, yes, actually Siege. And for example, Curse City. All of these areas, they don't require energy for you to farm gear. And Doom Tower too. We just missed the Dark Fae rotation, so you missed out on that. But you should still be farming all of this stuff for additional materials to go to the Forge, because the Forge is going to give you silver, right? And you should be crafting all your stuff, all your Magi Steel during CVC so that you can make back some silver, right? Because you need that silver to do stuff. And you need to replenish your Magi Steel by doing Classic Arena. You kind of see how it's a loop, right? Everything kind of feeds into everything. So, you just kind of have to grind it out in this game a little bit. Definitely lots of areas for improvement, which is great. Those are the best, right? You don't want to see accounts that are perfect. They have nothing that needs to be done. The builds can be improved on basically everybody, but it seems like you have the right idea. You know that, some champions, they need accuracy. Which ones need accuracy, which is good. But the gear, the gear and the builds are definitely, very lacking, right? They're very early stage kind of build outs. But I'm kind of hopeful for the instinct and the bolster gear that you have in the Forge. Hopefully that's going to be changing your account. Now, the other piece of advice I would probably give to you is that you probably should focus your attention on just a handful of champions. Maybe 5, 6, 7 champions, and then gear them to the best of your ability. Then make presets for those gears and then move them around. So for example, if you're going to go best attack base damage dealer, best attack base damage dealer, best speed debuffer, best speed like support champion with high HP and all that stuff. This one would be best speed debuffer with accuracy. And then this one would be the similar build out as this one. So it's kind of like you can interchange the gear sets once you have them set up. That's probably what I would do, because at this point you have too many champions and you can't possibly gear them all out because you just don't have the gear to do so, right? You just want to focus on a couple key standouts here, and then just let those champions kind of carry you through all the content. All right, so hopefully that was helpful for you, man. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. You guys have some advice here for PokeDad. If you guys are interested in these takeover services, let me know in the comments. And make sure you guys DM me on Discord. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys on what I would do if I was in PokeDad's position here with his account. Thanks for watching until the end, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.